Hi, my name is Eric Worrell with RentPrep.com, and in this video I just wanted to show you real quick how you can do a Google search of looking for local information as far as it's concerned with tenant screening and being a landlord, because you want to make sure that you're not just learning the federal and state laws, but see if there's anything specific to your town. So one thing you can do is, and I was kind of messing around with this with local towns around here in West Seneca, because we're in West Seneca, New York. So let's say we look up West Seneca, New York, and then we can put in why don't we put in like code book, see what comes up. So you can see here I've actually already clicked on this. Notice that it seems to be a service that has a bunch of different towns inside of it, which is kind of nice. So what I would do is, obviously you don't want to read every single thing on here, but I would do a control search and look for fair house. So it's probably going to be fair housing. You can see that it's 2 mentions of it. So what I would do is click on chapter 71. And then here are all the fair housing sections on this town code book. So I would go through this, and you can see acts of discrimination. This is just kind of giving you the definitions right here, because they're going to be talking about handicap and marital status. So West Seneca is going to be slightly different from the next town. So you can see this one's kind of a little bit shorter. You can see that there's court action. If somebody's discriminated against, education and promotion of housing goals, expedition. All right. So just to give you an idea, I wanted to just show you this real quick on what you'd want to read up if you were in West Seneca and you owned a property. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. What I'm going to do, and I want you, I'll do this in a separate tab, Hamburg, New York town code book. I'm going to look up. Seems to be a search that seems to work. So now you can see this actually looks similar, which is kind of cool that they're both on this same thing. And again, I'm going to look up fair housing. Let's see. Again, there is a mention of it on here. It's chapter 109. I don't know if that's the same as this one. No, this is chapter 71, so every town's different. But if you take a look at this page, it's a little bit beefier than the one in West Seneca, right? So these are 2 different towns, but they have, you can easily tell just based on the little search bar width over here. That's kind of a weird way of doing it, but you can see that search bar. And on this page, you can see the search bar is a little thinner because there's just more information. So sexual orientation is addressed in Hamburg, and these towns almost touch each other. I don't think they're both in the south of Buffalo, New York. But then on this one, you don't see anything about sexual orientation. So this is something you want to be aware of, and you want to read through all this because it's going to give you a lot of different information. And another interesting thing is in Hamburg, let's see if I go down, penalties for offense. You can get a fine of up to $5,000 for the first violation, and not more than $10,000 for a respondent adjudged to have committed any prior discriminatory housing practice. So I'm not an attorney, but I believe that this $5,000 fine is actually on the town level. So that's not even a federal discrimination case. So you can get a lot of information just by searching your town and then look up the code book and see if you can't find a section on fair housing. So I actually grew up in Orchard Park, New York, and let's see, town code book. Just wanted to show this to you, to show you that it's not always going to be real easy. So town of Orchard Park, I found this E-code 360 seems to work. But when I search for fair housing, there's no mention of it for Orchard Park. So you might want to call or email somebody just to say, hey, are there anything I should be aware of as a landlord, fair housing laws that apply just to this town, because I'm not seeing anything for the town of Orchard Park. So hopefully you can find something for your town. It might not be as easy and clean as this, but look up the fair housing laws for your town. And like I said, it's very clear that they're very different from town to town. All 3 of these towns are in the south towns of Buffalo, New York, and Hamburg's are very, very lengthy. Orchard Park didn't have anything at all, and West Seneca addressed a few issues with fair housing. So hopefully you take the time just to look up the town that your rental resides in and see if there are any fair housing laws you should be aware of for that specific town. All right. Good luck and take care.